is going on, my beautiful water signs? This is your girl Venus Archangel here with another love reading for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're unsure of your placements, go ahead and check the description box below. Also guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that is totally fine. But with all that said, let's go ahead and see what's going on in your love lives today. I'm sounding out of breath because I am. Woo! Okay, I got done telling fire signs, earth signs, and air signs this, but the most affected right now is going to be pretty much everybody. Okay, so if you've ever had any experiences where you're telling somebody something and they get really rude and they say something back to you, just please be mindful that everybody's feeling very vulnerable. Everybody's in a very vulnerable space. Everything may be interpreted in a very different way because everybody's reacting from the inside of themselves. You know, it's like handling a boiling pot of water. At the same time, you're cooking some steak. You're not going to treat it all the same way. But the thing is that you got a lot going on. Everything's under pressure. And the thing is, everybody's feeling this vulnerability, which adds pressure. So there may be some lashing out. There may be some feelings of uncertainty about unease. And this can come from you as well, right? Because you may be feeling pretty vulnerable right now, and you may interpret messages from people, even if it's rude or whatever, right, in a harder way because you're already feeling like, you know, you're vulnerable and stuff. So the best thing to do right now for this week, for the remainder of Venus retrograde until Venus goes back to Libra, would be to give yourself compassion right now, considering that whatever someone says to you, it's not meant to actually hurt you. Unless it is meant to hurt you, just be very mindful that they're coming from a place of insecurity and vulnerability. Okay, that's kind of everybody's symptom at the moment, including mine. So okay, so anything said nasty, anything that wasn't need to be said, remember it's people reacting to the things that they've got going on internally. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, King of Cups is coming out. That's your card. Oh, excuse me, Nine of Cups. Okay, I thought it was the King of Cups. It's the Nine of Cups. Your wish, heart's desire. These cards are so slippery. It's your heart's desire, y'all. I love that. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's the Knight of Cups again. All right, you got two cards of manifestation here. The underlying energy is the Five of Pentacles. Underneath that is the Seven of Wands. So yeah, I feel like there was a period of defensiveness, and now there's definitely a feeling of vulnerability. Like I feel like everybody feels like this willingness or this need to kind of fight off people or to kind of, you know, get aggressive. But I don't think it's like too aggressive. I think it's just mostly protecting yourself, and now you kind of feel like you're left out in the cold, no support, lack of something's missing, right? Or not something's missing, but there's something lacking that you feel could definitely benefit you at this time, but it feels like you don't have enough, and it's kind of like a struggle to kind of get to a place where you're feeling at least there's some sort of stability, some sort of balance. Now the heart of your reading is the Eight of Pentacles. So there's a lot of emphasis on you're focusing on something very closely, working very diligently, whether this is building a relationship, keeping very focused on what you're doing at all times, you know, building something of great stature. This could be work itself, you know, you're doing the best thing that you can do with work. But the thing is, what's crossing is the Ten of Swords. It's very interesting because the Ten of Swords can indicate here that there is an ending, the worst is over. But since it's crossed, it's almost like saying that there's something that's trying to be prevented in a way. I'm going to go ahead and still pull a card for that, though, because, you know, that's really the Star. I don't think that the worst is really over. Well, I think that here's the thing. I think the worst is over because you have the Star coming up with that immediately, and you have the Star coming up twice. And I feel like the situation here that you're working very hard at has kind of gotten to a point where it may have ended or something may have ended in a very shocking way, but it immediately gets into gear what it is that you're trying to actually aspire to be. I feel like whatever you've been manifesting got things on the right track, if that makes sense. Because the Ten of Swords coming up, crossing it, it's like, I would think there's something that's not finished because the Ten of Swords is coming up there. It's an ending, but it's very devastating. And I'm like, okay, what is not ended here is the Star. Something that you've been wishing. That's something that you're willing to work on. And I feel like the situation may have taken a hit, or maybe your love life has taken a hit somewhere, but it's not like this it's not the end of everything. I feel like you got some sort of clarity that you may have needed, but the stars to me is representing like, hey, there is some sort of hope, there's some sort of healing here actually with this Ten of Swords. Some sort of, you know, even though something may have shocked you, or maybe not necessarily shocked you, but it may have hurt the way something has ended. There's like immediate healing after, something that's really quick to kind of seal the wound closed. Not in a bad way, but more of like in a healing sort of way, like it's just nurturing and stuff like that. I feel like there may be in need of patience at the time too. But your past is showing up to be the Sun, so this indicates here that there's some sort of clarity, some sort of potential for happiness here in the past. This is things being illuminated, so whatever was confusing in the past was illuminated and was very clear. That's great, because a lot of, I think actually two to three out of the signs had the moon coming up here, which is such an unpleasant energy to have. Not in a bad way, but it's like usually very uncomfortable, and you have the Sun here, so that's good. And I feel like now you're walking in your truth. I feel like maybe this Ten of Swords may have happened already for some of you guys, or there is a situation that you're protecting yourself against, with whether this is the Ten of Swords or not. Like this, maybe something is trying to end itself and you're not trying to let it go, or that this is something that has ended and you're trying to work through it, and you're kind of detached at the moment. Because the Queen of Swords, queens are cardinal signs, and this could be you. You could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius at this moment, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. I mean, because you have the Star here, that could indicate that too, but I get this feeling that there may be someone around you that's maybe detached from you as well. Maybe this is like a situation where you're kind of walking your truth because you know where you stand. You know what you're trying to get to. You know the process in which to find happiness, and you're remaining strong and remaining pretty staunch on your truth, like pretty solid. The Queen of Swords and the Ten of Swords, like those two are one hell of a combination, because this is us talking about a survivor at the same time, because she survives several different Tens of Swords throughout her life. So it tells, I feel like for some of you guys, there may have been some ending, but you still inspired to kind of break out of this kind of ending, this sort of pain that you may have felt. No matter what disaster came about, you still have your sword up. You're still protecting yourself. And I feel like that it's even inspired you to even go after the things that you wanted, even if you've hit lots of, hit lots of patches in your life where it's been devastating, it's been very painful. Okay, because here you got in the future the Nine of Cups. Nothing's really standing in your way, and I feel like it's true healing now. But I feel like that's the point, right? With the Ten of Swords, right? I feel like there's a lot of focus, a lot of working, a lot of diligence, but there's not a lot of rest given. So there may need to be some type of rest. There's a lot that you're doing, a lot that you're putting in, and the Star would indicate that there's healing when it comes to focusing on your dreams, on the things that you want. There's a lot of good stuff that comes from, there's a lot of good things that happen when you are, focusing on a certain goal. But there's also a need to rest, okay? I feel like the Ten of Swords right here, it's like you guys are really trying to get out of your situation, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think the situation is telling you to slow down any bit. I feel like it's saying right now, like you're headed in a direction that's the best fit for you, and just all you got to do now is just keep shooting for the stars, okay? I don't see any sort of sign saying here to stop at all. I feel like right now you just hit a really big wall of something that may have hurt you in some way, but you still see the Star as a beacon of light, despite what's been going down. I feel like the worst is over with regarding the situation with the Ten of Swords, and right now it's all about just kind of going in the direction that you believe is your truth. I mean, there's nothing to it. Let me take a look, see what you guys got for your Messenger Oracle. All right, and you guys have stay strong. That's exactly what I believe. Yeah, stay strong. Right now it's a struggle and you've been pushing through, but I feel like there's nothing really keeping you from, you know, from moving forward. You've hit the rock bottom, you hit the lowest of the low, and all you got now is the start. You have nothing but nothing keeping you down. Just keep moving forward, keep pushing forward, healing, of course, as you're doing it. I think this process of working towards your goals, getting to a certain direction, that's what's healing you. So I would say just keep moving, keep pushing forward. Don't settle for nothing. Don't settle for less. Keep pushing forward. Wow, air signs. Oh, water signs, excuse me. Water signs. Real deep. And I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. Bye now.